MSC right here. All right, so I'm not actually doing any comedy. I'm here to tell you about how I prepared for this pageant. What I did, the triumphs, the hardships I had to go through to get here, that sort of thing. But I broke it down into three main categories, you could say, about how you really get into a pageant. Number one, getting the look. Gotta get the look, right? Getting in shape. Gotta get back in shape. Gotta start running, lifting those weights. And then finding your talent, which is the hardest for me, which is why I'm doing a non-talent right now. So first, number one, getting the look. For a lot of us, and I know these guys real well, the number one, most important thing you can do, what do? You gotta wax everything. You gotta take it off. I mean, 3-4 days, it's intensive. You gotta take it all off. Because even the stuff you guys don't see, they get sweaty, there's hair, it's gross. Right? Number one, hair removal. Number two, you gotta get that swag, that sexy walk, right? You gotta have confidence. You guys saw it earlier, obviously, because I walked out here, but this is how it goes, right? This is the sexy swag walk. Attitude up here. Delivery down there. Okay, but the only problem is we're all engineers here, right? We're engineers. So what happens? What happens is it turns into a non-sexy walk. It turns into the sneaky marching band. So it's something like this. And that doesn't work for anyone, right? And thirdly, for a lot of us, you gotta have like the real GQ look, keep it clean cut. And for me, that doesn't really work. If I shave before this, I'm just some creepy 16-year-old boy that's coming to talk to you guys about you don't know what, right? But if I wait like 2 days, it's like, oh, who's this dirty guy? What's he doing? So there's this, what I call it, I call it pre-Teen Wolf, but it's this zone. It's like from 14 to 15 hours, that's like prime time. Like, so I shaved 14 hours and 35 minutes ago. Right? So moving on, where do you go from here? You go to getting fit, which for me was hard. Once I found out I was gonna be in a pageant, it was game time. I was ready to go. I had to work out, so I hit the gym, right? First thing, gotta get rid of the gut. Drink a lot of beer. It just happens, right? So naturally, I'm gonna go running. So my first day out, I run out. I'm at class, get out of class, I'm gonna go to the gym. Go to the RPAC, unpack my stuff, put my shorts on, put my shirt on. I'm ready to go. I go to lace up my sweet ass running shoes. Shit, crew cut socks. What are you supposed to do with crew cut socks, right? It's like, everyone's gonna judge me, but I'm still pumped about the pageant. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna find a spot, where there's no one, judging me. Naturally, I walk out, and there's all those girls. They're in their like full outfits, and they got their whole thing going on. They're like, oh, look at you, sweet 2003 crew cut socks. So I just ignore them. I'm here to work out. I go to the back. I find my own spot, right? And I start running. And I'm running. And I'm laying down a good pace, putting in multiple miles, which doesn't happen for me very often. I'm feeling good. What happens when you're running a sweet pace? Naturally,
Sweaty.
what happens? You get sweaty, obviously. No. No. What happens to me is I'm running, and here comes some sort of result of a Russian eugenics project that's gonna run next to me. They're like some sort of sweet Olympian. And I gotta run there, and they're literally running twice as fast as me. Twice as fast. So, what do you do? What I did, I turned the treadmill off and I never ran again. So I had to turn to weightlifting. Gotta get that pump on. Personally, I don't have the confidence to wear sleeveless shirts, right? So what are you going to do with that? I don't know. I personally, ever since I came, when I first came to the RPAC, I think that my arms were too scrawny. I didn't feel confident about wearing sleeveless shirts because my arms are too skinny. And now it's kind of like, my arms are the same size. So I'm kind of hung up on that and the way that wind feels when it blows through my upper arm hair. It's unnerving. So I had to forego any sort of sleeveless shirt, right? But to overcome the first part, I gotta get my arms bigger, right? So I gotta take some protein, some weight gainer, right? So I'm going out, I'm shopping, the whole gamut of GNC and all that stuff. I'm looking for something to put some mass on. So naturally, I buy some Cyto Gainer, right? I'm reading the reviews. Cyto Gainer just throws on the weight. And one of the reviews, it says I gained so much pounds and put on an inch and a half to my apparatus. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I want that protein. So I bought it, right? So I tried it out, and the more I tried it out, I was thinking, if you're gonna get bigger, don't you want things to scale linearly? Right? That's the way it should be. Perfect sense. So that's working out. That's all. So finding your talent. How do you find your talent? I have gone through hundreds of things. When I first heard about this, I thought I was outdoors. I had things just popping in my head. And it was supposed to be brawn. You guys all heard the brawn section. No one here has done anything with any sort of brawn. I was going to do some sort of John Henry-esque wood splitting race with a motorized wood splitter, right? And you guys would be over there and I'd be chopping wood, and you'd be freaking out, throwing logs off. I couldn't do that. So then I heard it was in the union, and it's a brand new union. You can't do anything. I was gonna have Fruit Ninja. Is anyone here familiar with Fruit Ninja? Yeah? Some Fruit Ninja fans? I was gonna do a personal Fruit Ninja. Throw a little tarp here. Give everyone the first 3 rows, tomatoes or whatever. My buddy's got a samurai sword. I was just gonna take him down. You guys throw it. But that's not gonna work either. So I turned to my last thing I turned to. I can juggle, right? I can't juggle. It's not that impressive, it's like a half talent. So I decided I'm going to go out and find someone that's got a unicycle. This guy right here gave me his unicycle. Right? I have bruises in places I didn't know could be bruises. Things happen to me. I didn't know you could turn like that. It doesn't make any sense. So, and that was last Tuesday, so I didn't know completely. So I decided to try to do some sort of comedy thing, right? And this decision came before I went home for Easter last weekend. So I went home, and if you were wondering, this is the talent part of the real meat and potatoes. So I went home, I'm here for Easter, and I went to my dad. I'm like, Dad, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I got myself into. And he's like, son, what do you have? And I'm like, I think I've got a comedy routine.